Hey girls, so I'm here to do a 2021 year in review. So I wrote down some New Year journal prompts and I'm gonna just go through them. I always thought that these videos really cool on YouTube, and so I kind of always wanted to do one. So I was like, since this is my video diary, why not? So the first one isn't really a question, it's more of a prompt, and it's basically just saying review your 2021. And so I'm gonna do it by months because I feel like that's probably the easiest way to do it. So January and February, I kind of put together. At that time, I was still in my dating situation, companionship type relationship with Khalil. It was my February marked 2021 marked my first like real romantic Valentine's Day. It was very nice. We were in a cabin, we went to dinner. We had a really fun, loving weekend. It was just really fun, and that meant a lot to me. March was my birthday, the best holiday. March was also what I would say is probably the end, what really marked the beginning of the end for Khalil and I. We had a really big hiccup in March. April, April was not very memorable, so I can't really say anything about April. May was my first time going to Chateau Alon, and that was like my first staycation. So we went to Chateau Alon. I took my mom there for Mother's Day. May was also what was also memorable about May was my first time going camping. So I ended up going to this like, I don't really know what it's called, but it was like this event called Connected Camping where people literally go out into this field and they go camping together for like a night. But there's like different parts of the evening. So you have like a play thing at the beginning where you like play kickball, and then there's like this breathing circle. You have this vegan dinner prepared, and it's just it was a really cool place to like connect with people. But that for me was very eye-opening, and that changed a lot for me for the rest of the year. So connected camping was a big part of May for me. Now June is when my travel bug really hit, and I thought it was so funny because I remember like at the end of 2020 being like, oh man, when they open up, people gonna be gone, blah blah blah. I was talking about myself because I was really gone after that. So June, I went to Asheville. That was my first time zip lining. First time going to Asheville, North Carolina. Yeah, so that was pretty fun. I also graduated with my master's degree in that month, so that was pretty cool. July. July is when Khalil and I kind of picked back up, but not really. I think after March we kind of just it was really a wrap for us. But July we kind of like actually started talking again because we stopped talking for 2 months, and so in July we kind of talked a few. I got to see some friends in July, so some other college friends in July, which is really cool. July was also my first solo trip to Nashville, so that was really fun. That's also something that was really special about July. August was Virginia Beach and Chicago, so those are two places that I traveled in August. And after that Virginia Beach trip, that's when Khalil and I really ended. That's when I got dumped, pretty much. So September is when I started my new job. So I got my first like real big girl job in September. Let's see. September, October, I went to California. So I traveled different places in California for a girls trip. That was really fun. Also, Halloween happened. That was another fun time. I love Halloween. That's my second favorite holiday. November is when I started my Christmas project. So November was really big because in 2020 and for the last couple of years, like I felt like my family has been like really disjointed, and I haven't really experienced like a real Christmas. Like, so the Christmas hadn't been really like what you would imagine it to be for me, and that had made me really sad for the last couple of years. But this year, I don't know why, but I was just like, I don't want to feel like that anymore. And I was like, what do I feel like I could do this Christmas that would make me feel in the Christmas spirit? So that's when I started my Christmas project, which was essentially doing gifts for almost 80 residents at a rehabilitation center. And so we kind of got their wish list, collected all the gifts and everything, and like wrapped them and everything like that. So that took 2 months. So that was really November, and December really was just that. But December I did go to Vegas for the first time as an adult for another girls trip, and that was really fun. So yeah, that's pretty much my 2021. So yeah. So the next question is, what were your top 5 experiences in 2021? Describe each experience and what made it significant, awe-inspiring, or personally profound. That's a good question. Okay, so this is in no particular order. And I don't even know if I got 5, but that's a lot. But I would say, right off the top of the head, I think my traveling experiences off rip were probably the most profound, exciting experiences of 2021 for me. I went to a lot of places that I'd never been to. Those are my first time going to a lot of those places. It was great to spend time with my friends. I think those experiences for me were the most profound, because I think every time I paid for a trip or I planned a trip from beginning to end, it made me feel very happy to know that I could do that. I don't know, it just made me feel more adult and more in charge of my life, and just to know that like nothing's outside of my reach, you know? And that just personally made me feel good to know that like anything that I want to experience, I can, if I'm willing to sacrifice and do what I need to do to get it. Like, and just being able to share those experiences with my friends and have so much fun and laugh and cry, have deep conversations, like, and just seeing how much this world has to offer, even in the United States, like just seeing so many different places. And some of the places that a lot of the places that I went this year had I did such great activities as far as like going to different museums. And I was really thinking about doing a whole nother video about the best museums that I've been to. And a lot of those museums came from this year. So just like being able to see different art and museums and music and food and culture, like I think just traveling in general has been like, I think that's been one of my top 5 experiences of 2021. I would say 2 was definitely connected camping. Ooh, connected camping was emotional for me. I mean, I think when I went to connected camping, I was still kind of reeling off of the whole Khalil thing, and just beating myself up about why I couldn't make that work and why I had such big emotional blocks. And I think I know that one was just so profound because of the people that I met there, that I felt so connected to them so quickly. And I guess when you just out in the woods, you just kind of, those walls break down a lot faster. But I just met some really inspiring people who I felt I connected with in a way that was just, it's kind of one of those things where it's like something about meeting somebody or talking to somebody about deeply personal things that you don't know and you probably won't see again. It just relinquishes you from all these like inhibitions. Like you just feel more free to like talk and share, and that just really helped me to like be able to just share what I wanted to share and have people kind of affirm me. And I think that was the one, well, not the one point, but that was the starting point of my whole realization of that this year, that as far as that I had still emotional growth to do, as far as like I only let myself feel certain emotions, and then like emotions that are too hard for me, I just don't deal with, or I try to block them, and just realizing from that camp that that's blocking off a part of my humanity, that's blocking off a part of me being a woman, being in touch with myself. And so that was just a starting point of that. That's also really connected camping, which was in what was that? In May. That's also when I started my solo dating. That's also when I realized the importance of play and having fun. That's really where that sparked out for me. So yeah, so I'll say connected camping was 2. 3 was definitely my birthday. I turned 25 this year, so quarter of a century. So 25 was really fun. I think that just the experience, I did so many new things on my birthday. I went to a real tree house on a llama farm, so that was really fun. I had my first facial, which again, that seems small, but I never had one. I think that's just so like luxurious. So I had my first facial. I had my first private chef experience. Like a private chef actually came to my house. Of course, I did the photo shoot thing, but just overall, my birthday just felt so loving. And I think I really needed that because that was the same month that Khalil and I were getting really shaky. So Yeah, but it was a great birthday. Like I love my birthday, and especially after like 2020, like not being able to do anything, like 25, like turning 25 and my whole birthday experience. Oh, and then we did the splatter studio, which was really fun, and I just really love my friends for like just being there and showing that love, and it was just a really great birthday. It was one of my best birthdays, honestly. Like everything I had planned for myself, like it was just overall just really great. So that would be three. Where are we at? Wait, let me see. Traveling, connected camping, my birthday. Um, Four would definitely have to be Khalil. Like I definitely think, even though like that kind of was like 2020 to 2021, I definitely think Khalil overall was like a profound experience. And I say Khalil because he was an experience of in himself. But I mean, I just learned so much from him. I learned so much from experiencing love with him, so much from experiencing intimacy, sex, like everything. Like it was just so eye-opening for me, and I've never felt that level of comfort and easiness, like not that like the relationship was easy, but I never felt that level of ease within myself being with a man. Like I had never felt that before, and I cherish that to this day. I'll probably cherish. I know I'll cherish that for the rest of my life. That I just that he really did set new standards for me, and it's still to this day very hard to think about that ending, and to and sometimes I beat myself. I go through this thought patterns of like beating myself up about like why I couldn't make that work, but then also it's just like I know that what I want is valid, and I deserve to get that, and I deserve to have the love and the life that I want. And even though somebody is a good person, sometimes being a good person is not enough. And if someone is not willing to just, like, it's not a willingness, cause that wasn't the problem with us, but I think it was just we weren't compatible. There's a lot of things I can say about that, but I think we just weren't compatible. But it makes me sad because I'm like, you can't really work on incompatibility. Like you can't work on that, but in my mind I'm like, oh, we can. But I think it was incompatibility about the way we both viewed love, the way we view relationship, the way we view time, and how long love and how much time love takes. We viewed that very differently. We also had a very different perspective on situations in life. We had a very different experience. I think we very much so viewed and then it's the whole thing of like hard conversations. Like, is the difference between hard conversations and just necessary conversations? So that's the whole thing. But overall, Khalil and the love I experienced with him was a profound moment for me in 2021. Even us ending was a profound moment for me of letting it go, because I'm not a let it go type of person. Like, especially after experiencing a love with somebody like that, I had every part of me wanted to hold on to that and wanted to keep going and wanted to keep trying and wanted to just make it work. But I think even the experience of letting something go, and when someone decides that they want to walk away from you, letting them, that was tough for me. And I think that even though every part of my body didn't want to do that, I think the fact that I let that go and I said, okay, if you want to leave, then you can, that's okay, and so that's growth for me. And so that would definitely be number 4. Number 5 would be vocalizing emotions that I had not vocalized before. So like the thing from Connected Camping of vocalizing that I am not as emotionally mature as I think that I am. I tend to only want to deal with emotions that I feel like I can deal with. And emotions that I don't feel like I can, or the emotions that I feel are too big or too vast, I tend to not want to deal with them. I deflect, I compartmentalize, and I just move on from them. And realizing that that's a problem, and I do that because I'm scared, was a big one. Also, that whole situation with Ari, like, being able to vocalize that man was absolutely emotionally abusive, and I have absolutely been emotionally abused in my life. Being able to say that out loud, and that emotional abuse is still abuse, like, it's still abuse, like, and to realize that there's a lot of things from that situation, even though we were never together, that have absolutely left me with a lot of trauma to get to like cipher through. But just being able to like say that out loud and being able to, it is hard for me, but I think that, and even with Khalil, like some of the things with us, like I vocalized about wanting more. And I've never been that person. Like I've always been, I will take whatever somebody wants to give me. But I feel like this is the first year where I've asked for more. And even for my friends, like my best friend, both of my best friends, like I had to ask for more of them, like for them to be more open with me, to be more emotional with me, to be more one of my friends, I told her that I really wanted her to take more initiative in our relationship, where it's like I was always planning things, and I just felt bad about that. And I told her, and it was a very positive response. She was like, "You're right," and she did better. So just asking for more, and not being afraid to vocalize what I feel. And sometimes that didn't work out. Like sometimes, like with the Khalil situation, I don't think that worked out at all the way I thought it would. But that moment of just saying it, and that was new for me. So those were my profound moments of the year. And the next question is, what patterns do you see in your peak experiences? So when I look over my 5 peak experiences, I think newness is a big one. Fun is another very key pattern in all my experiences. Feeling deeper, diving deeper, I think is another pattern in all my experiences, of just sitting in things that are not surface level, like diving deeper into my own psyche, my own heart, my own like awkward feelings, my own insecurities, like diving deeper into those and just learning how to sit in them without having to do something was a big one. But I definitely think experiencing new things, like trying to experience wider, was a big key pattern. That was like a big thing that I saw in all my experiences. So that's what I would say. What are you most thankful for in 2021? I'm thankful for, I'm just thankful for my friends and my family. I'm thankful for Khalil. Like, I think I'm thankful for the people in my life, pretty much. Like, they've been the highlight. I don't really think I'm ever like, I'm thankful for love, you know, like I'm thankful for experiencing it when I've been able to. So that's, and I'm just thankful to be alive, honestly. I'm thankful for another year. I was thankful for another year. Just overall being able to wake up each day and do it over. Like, you know, and just to still live, and to know that each day that I woke up, that was a chance to do something or just be something, or just exist. Like, so I felt thankful for just life in 2021, for real. What do you need to shed or leave behind from the past year? I actually been gonna tie that into the second question, because my last question, because I don't want this to be too long, was the other thing is, what's your theme for 2022? So my theme for 2022 is authenticity, and that kind of ties into what I need to shed or leave behind is not being authentic. So essentially, not feeling or not expressing what I truly feel, which is a big thing that I definitely think put a rift between Khalil and I, is saying one thing and feeling something else. So I want my feelings and what I say to be in more alignment. I want to not feel like what I feel and what I have to say is dumb. And I know that's absolutely trauma from Ari, of being emotionally abused and gaslighted and being made to feel small and insignificant, and disposable. So I feel like I want to shed all that. Like, I want to shed feeling disposable. I want to shed feeling like my words or what I feel don't matter. And also shed the thought of like somebody else can put value or can measure the value of what I have to say. Like, what I have to say is not dependent on what somebody else deems important. And I want to just shed that belief. Like, I need to express what I want to express and say what I feel, no matter how weird or emotional or too deep or too whatever, because that's true to me. And my job and what I feel God's plan is for me is just to be true to myself. And how someone responds to that or how someone intakes that is not, I can't think about that. Like, I don't know. And I just can't be my worry all the time. And I think that has really kept me from being authentic. And I still struggle with that. Like, I still struggle at 25 with being authentic. I still struggle with feeling insecure about who I am in all places, even with my friends, like, not with my family, but like my friends and romantic stuff. Like, I still feel insecure sometimes about just being myself, and like, because I'm always worried about like how somebody's going to respond. And so, yeah, I would love to shed that. I would love to work on that. And I think I know I work on that by doing it every day, by being myself, even if it feels awkward, and continuing to do what I did in 2021 about speaking up for myself and speaking up for my needs and saying what I want, saying what I don't want, and advocating for myself. Like, I think that's all important. So anyways, yeah, that's my 2021 year review. Just 20 minutes long. I'm so sorry, girl, because you don't be wanting to go back and listen to all this. But yeah, girl. So yeah, happy 2022, girl. It's New Year's Eve, and see you next year.